What's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Wisdom. Again, doing a feature preparing you for the premiere of the Wisdom Experience coming this Friday, October 23rd, to blogtalkradio.com. As I've always stated in these videos, if you'd like to email me some suggestions, comments, show topics, anything that you'd like my opinion on, you can do so by emailing the Wisdom Experience at gmail.com, and I will get back to you. I'm going to try to put everything that you send me on the air, so just know that if I don't get to it immediately, I'll get to it. I promise you that I will. Today, I don't want to talk about the Seminoles yet, but today we're going to talk about something else that's going on at one of the nation's historically black colleges and universities. I'm sure that some of you are aware that Hampton University just chose its first non-black homecoming queen. Her name is Nicole Churchill, and she was crowned at the homecoming pageant. Now, it says in the article that I've read on the Washington Post that she was crowned, um, but there were some hecklers in the audience, and hecklers later on, I guess expressing their disdain toward the fact that this historically black college and university had chosen a non-black homecoming queen. Now, at first glance, if you just go from that and read it, you might say, wow, this is a tremendous step back. But there are a lot of issues to be discussed. What she did, Miss Churchill, after the hecklers presented themselves, and let's say those hecklers came and presented themselves, and what Nicole did next was very interesting. She wrote an open letter to President Obama and posted it on her website, asking him to visit the college and to come visit and to basically help with the race relation and the idea that she, who has a white father and an Asian mother, or a white mother and an Asian father, but she is white and Asian mixed. Okay. Um, Her letter basically says, you can relate to what I'm feeling. I'm sure that if you came and visited the campus, it would do a lot to help this situation and to help students understand my plight. Now, I am all for you writing a letter to Obama. People were upset because she did write this letter to Obama. And I don't think it was because she wrote the letter to Obama. Let's understand that people write letters to Obama for smaller things than this. There are little old ladies who are probably writing about a neighbor's tree that's on their property crossing the property line. So we have a right to write to our president whenever we feel like it. I mean, it's, hey, write the letter. It doesn't say that he's going to read it, doesn't say that you're going to get a response, but you have the right to. It's your prerogative if you decide that you want to write a letter to the president. Now, what does create a problem, though, is when you do not follow proper protocol. That is what can make people uneasy. Now, from the article, there were only a handful of hecklers. So let's say if there were 20 hecklers, how big is Hampton University? You know what I mean? So how many people heckled versus those that supported? It is very funny if you go to the Washington Post and you see the article. There's a picture of Nicole with her court. The girl to the left of her in the picture is just happy that she was one of the top three. She's one of the three runners up. She's happy to be in the number. Now, the two sisters to the right, I don't know whether this picture was taken at a bad time. You know, the 1, 2, 3 cheese wasn't given, and maybe this picture was taken at an awkward moment and posted to make a certain impression. But the two sisters to the right of Miss Churchill do not look like they are at all ecstatic or excited to even be in the number. It looks like they're ready to, no, okay, let me go. I didn't win, let me go home because I can't believe this, you know? But there is a certain protocol to be felt and to be, followed. President of the student body, his name is Matthew Washington, who's 20 years old. His concern was that she did not reach out to anyone at the school first, and that if it had been done that way, then maybe they could have come to a resolve. But by her posting that open letter on her website to President Obama, it gave the university a negative connotation in the eyes and minds of those who would read the article or hear her plight, that, oh, they just didn't want this white girl to win this crown. And I don't think that that was the instance or all of the instance of this situation. As I read the article further, it does turn out that some of the students had valid concerns because Miss Churchill does not live on campus, nor does she attend classes at the main campus. So, if there have not been any homecoming or any stipulations for the queen before now that she should do that, that might be something to look into in a certain respect. Like, what are your qualifications for? But we're talking about homecoming. Now, I don't know if Miss Hampton University has to have a certain residency requirement or a certain, like, does she have to take the campuses at the main campus, or if they're offering courses at another campus, isn't it still Hampton University? I don't know. I can see both sides of the fence. If you're not living here on campus, you don't have that same experience that these students have. And if you're not taking courses on the main campus, it does, I understand that point. But if she's a Hampton student, and she is a Hampton student, she's taking these courses at Hampton, she's a part of Hampton University. You don't have to see her for that to be validated. I'm sure that there are plenty of students that you are not familiar with who are doing things and could very well be eligible for this office. So it's kind of up in the air. I do understand, though, that feeling. Now, the feeling of she's not black at this historically black college or university, it's very sad that we would do that. It's very, very sad. This college has been in existence since 1868, which is when Hampton was established. 1868, it is now 141 years later, with an African American president or a mulatto president, because we cannot forget, again, his mother's ancestry. Isn't this kind of like the change that we're supposed to be able to believe in now? So it's got to be more than a race issue. And if it's not, it's a setback. It definitely is kind of a setback. I went to Claflin University, which is the oldest historically black college or university in the state of South Carolina. We had white students and students of other ethnicities. I don't know. I think that there are so many factors that could twist this into a different way. Miss Churchill has not yet been officially crowned. That will take place on Wednesday. And their homecoming game is this Saturday against who? South Carolina State University Bulldogs. Now, I have a lot of love for State because I went to the Career Development Center and I was a junior Bulldog at Felton Laboratory School. So I have a lot of love for State. My mother just retired from State after 40 years of service. So, hey, it is what it is. I hope that State wins. But I don't see the problem with her being crowned unless there is a stipulation against students who don't attend classes on the main campus or who don't live on dorms having this title. Otherwise, if that is your beef to the students at Hampton University, then that is a beef with policy. And so Miss Churchill should not have to feel the backlash from that. That's something that should have been established and made clear before she was able to enter the contest. If that was your feeling, you know what I mean? Like, if she didn't just up and say, oh, I'm going to run for Miss Homecoming. I mean, there's a pageant that you have to prepare for. There's all this kind of back scenes and behind the scenes work that has to be done into putting on this production. So if you had a concern about her eligibility because of these things, after she got crowned, it's too late. That's something that should have been brought to the forefront prior to the rehearsals. And I mean, I understand they had a big production, like an actual pageant, with the opening number with an Arabian dance and the swimsuit competition, evening gown, question and answer. There has to be rehearsal and preparations for that. I know that because I was Miss South Carolina Plus America and I participated in pageants. You don't just jump in at the last day all willy-nilly and say, hey, here I am, I want to do this. It doesn't work like that. So if you had an ought with that actual aspect of her being able to compete, then it should have been vocal ahead of time. How many It's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to it, but I wonder how many of their